Hey, what's going on, guys? I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Hope you have a happy holidays. I went out this morning. Um, wasn't sure, what to expect. The last couple of days been really good, so I was hoping today would be good. I wasn't going to go out very long. I did go out a lot earlier than I normally do. Typically it's like 8:30. But that's generally because I get my daughter off to school and then I go to work. So, but she's on vacation, and so I figured I'd go out a little bit earlier. Plus I knew the stores were going to get nuts today. I really did. So, um, kind of wanted to beat the rush. So, went out this morning. 6:45 is when I clocked in, uh, or whatever. 6:48 I got this offer. Krispy Kremes, 10.50, 7.50 in tips, 8.5 miles. So again, you know how I feel about taking that first order of the day, unless it's totally upside down, which this wasn't. I mean, yeah, 8.5 is a little higher on the miles, but it's still not upside down offer. It's your average order. So I went ahead and took this just to get on the books. Um, it was actually going in a fairly decent direction. Anybody that's been watching my videos for any amount of time know that I kind of live down there by the airport. So I've mentioned that a couple of times. So essentially, it's just going back down to my home zone. Um, it's a fairly easy route, and plus it was super early in the morning, and there was no traffic. Like, it was a ghost town that early in the morning. I mean, the traffic did pick up later on in the day, but that early there was literally like no cars on the road. So this took me no time at all. It was just a dozen of donuts. Got to Krispy Kreme's. It was already ready. You can see by my pin location, I'm pretty close to the store as it was. Dropped it off. Took about 30 minutes for the 10.50. No biggie. And then 7:30, I get this. I declined it. 4.25, no tips. Safeway shop for 5 items, 7 units, going 2.3 miles. Probably wouldn't take me very long, but it's just I don't really take shopping orders under 5, and there's no tip on it. So I don't mean to be a Scrooge for the holidays, but yeah, was not going to take that. So then I get this shopping order, and this is a beautiful shopping order, and this is why sometimes I like shopping orders. $34.41, guys, and if you look at the tips, $21.66 in tips to go 6.2 miles. So it's Target. It is 2 separate orders, but one order was just witch hazel. That's literally all it was. The other customer had the other 21 items. And there was a lot, but a lot of it was seasonings. A lot of seasonings. Probably, like, I would say out of the 21 different items, probably 12 of them were seasonings. And then there were just some pots and pans, a knife set, ladles, things like that. So all kitchen stuff, cooking stuff. So, I knew it was going to be a pretty easy shop. And at 7:30 in the morning, there's still nobody in the stores. And like, eventually the stores did get nuts. I'm kind of glad I quit when I did. But that early in the morning, it literally was a ghost town. I was loving it. I was like, man, this is so awesome, because I figured if I got up before everybody else did, then I would be good for the majority of my shift this morning. So I was able to get that shop, fairly quick. There was no lines, nothing like that, and had it dropped off. And then actually, while I was in the store, they tried to send me this add-on for $17.50. I forgot they did try to send me an add-on, but I declined it because it was going an additional 14.4 miles. And if you look at the map, look where I am at the store. Look at the 2 houses that are grayed out that I'm already got deliveries going to, and then look at the one all the way out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, that was that 17.50 order, going way out into the middle of nowhere, and I for one item, and I think it was like a pair of joggers or something like that. It was women's joggers, and I'm like, no, nah, I'm just not doing it. I don't mean to be the Scrooge. That could be somebody's Christmas gift. I don't know, but I'm just not. I'm not doing it. It'll get delivered regardless. Somebody will pick it up, I'm sure, but yeah, not me. So, and there you go. There's the $45.16, and that was after I dropped off that Target order. And so right back on schedule. There you go. Look at that, 45.16 for 2 hours. So well over 20, a little over $20 an hour. So all right, man. That's what I'm talking about. This has kind of been the average like this whole week. I guarantee you it's because of the holidays, because I don't do this good on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But a lot of these are shopping orders, like look at this one right here, $23 for 7 miles. Another good shopping order, right? Dick's Sporting Goods with 2 items. One item was it was a little heavier because it was the cast iron like adjustable dumbbell, and then some creatine shoes. Both really easy to find. Got that shopped in probably about 6 minutes or so. And that's just because I had to go up the escalators to the second floor of Dick's Sporting Goods to grab the barbell, and then back downstairs to pay for everything. And then I went over to Neater's Bakery, picked up that order. It was 2 salads at Neater's, both going to different customers, but it was only 7.4 miles. So I had it dropped off pretty quickly. And there you go, $68.16 for 3 hours. So again, very, very good, average right there. Then I get this one for Dick's Sporting Goods again. That algorithm, they know you go to Dick's Sporting Goods once or twice and they want to keep pushing you there. And I wouldn't mind if the orders were good. But $5, no tips for 1.9 miles. I mean, the mileage ain't bad, 1.9, but it was just like a t-shirt, like a youth t-shirt. Not saying that it would have, it could have been out of stock. Maybe it would be a little bit harder to find. I try not to do clothing too much. I just feel like clothing itself is just sometimes hard to find, and a lot of times they don't have it in stock or they don't have the right size. But I just didn't want to deal with it. It's only $5, and they didn't even leave a tip. Wow, humbug. So, yeah, I declined that, and then ended up getting this one. And I'm like looking at the time. It's like 10:18, and I was only gonna stay on until about 11:30. I wasn't too sure, but I was like, okay, well, this is 15.9 miles, but it's literally going back down to my home zone again. And I'm like, well, this is where I can end. I'll just end it here. I was like, I just made that decision. I don't want to keep tanking my AR. My AR is already on the low end because even though I've been getting some good orders, I've been getting a lot of trash too. So I took this. It was one item at Michael's. Trying to think of what it was. Actually, it was a tablecloth. It was a green tablecloth. That's what it was, like a party, like for like a football game that you would put on the table. They had it. It was in stock. It was just an average color, just a green one. And then Panera bread. So I went ahead. I picked this up. I was like, okay, that should be easy. Just dropping off a tablecloth, and then Panera bread was like two baguettes, like 2 loaves of bread, and that was it. So. I figured it would be easy, and it would bring me back down to my house, and then I'll just end it there. So then while I was doing that, I ended up getting this add-on for $15 for an additional 2.9 miles for Dick's Sporting Goods again, 2 items, which was a Nike backpack and a pair of fleece gloves. So both were in stock. Found them both fairly easy, and $15 for 2 miles. I mean, that's a good dollar to mile ratio. So I did take that add-on. So there goes the $84.91 for 4 hours and 48 minutes. That was after I dropped off the first order. And then there goes the $99.91 after I dropped off the add-on for the Dick's Sporting Goods. So, and that's kind of where I ended it, because I was going to end it anyways, but then I got the add-on. So I was like, okay, well, let me just, since I'm already in that plaza at Panera and Dick's Sporting Goods is right there, I was like, I'll just pick Panera up, run over to Dick's Sporting Goods, get those 2 items, and then just drop all 3 off. So I dropped off the tablecloth, the 2 loaves of bread from Panera, and then the 2 items from Dick's Sporting Goods. And I was right there like 10 minutes from my house. So perfect ending, $99.91 for 4 hours and 58 minutes. So let's go over some numbers real quick. So we're looking at $99.91. I only worked 5 hours this morning. So that's an average of $19.98 an hour. 2 cents away from $20 an hour. And then for the week, I'm at $329.05, and I've only worked 18 hours. So for the week, I'm averaging $18.28. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So averaging over $18 an hour for a 3 days. I mean, I've only worked 18 hours those 3 days, um, but that's okay. I'll take it. It's over 18 bucks an hour for the week. So, obviously tomorrow is, is Christmas. So I will not be working. I don't think much places is even open, but I'm gonna spend that time with my family, and then I'm gonna hit it back hard on Friday. I know Friday might be a good day. We'll see. Not sure. I know a lot of people get gift cards. Maybe they'll get DoorDash gift cards and order some DoorDash. I don't know. But either way, yeah, that was my total for the 3 days, and yeah, short day, but that's okay. You know, I can't every day put in 10, 11, 12 hours. There's got to be some days where I just do the 4 or 5 hours. I mean, I ain't a spring chicken anymore. So I mean, it is what it is. And try to spend time with my daughter and do things with her. Family's important, guys. And you can't always just work. I mean, it's nice. The money's nice, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to take that time. But anyway, guys, I don't want to make this too long. So I hope you guys all have a good holiday, good Christmas, and stay safe, make wise decisions and good choices. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.